I am motivated to come live online and talk about some of the issues that are plaguing this nation. And so I saw the report that the president gave and that the congressmen were trying to address. And I said to myself, you know, we need leadership. And that's why I named the live online topic for today, leadership, because we need our leaders to step up with a plan, not the bickering, the name calling, the fault findings, the put down. That's a vexation to the American consciousness, and it worries me, it bothers me. And so I said, we need to set up a plan. All of our inner cities are plagued by poverty and lack and the single parent households, and it's very devastating. But if our politicians would be leaders and come up with a plan, then we could demonstrate to the world unity. Everyone would then be able to see that we are genuinely united as a people in the United States of America. And so while I won't be able to address all of the pertinent concerns coming across the news media, I will be able to spend a few minutes with you talking about the school systems, because that's pretty much what the problem is. When you get into the inner cities and you find that there's deep poverty, a lot of times the schools are the first things to go. And so as a country, we are able to unite our efforts together, and we can help the disadvantaged and the poor. And so I want to just bring out to you 10 things that I feel would be of help. Then you can ponder these 10 things and do what you can do in your community, and then the next person spread the ideal to their communities, to their schools, and if it continues to grow, we'll unite and lock arms, and we'll be able to help with some of the problems. So the first idea that I had when I saw that report come across the news media about the school systems being so bad in that Baltimore area, I said, you know what, God, all of our inner cities should reach out to their local high schools and colleges and develop a buddy system for the elementary schools, because the teachers have too many students. And so if we could get the high schoolers to come in to the elementary schools and partner with the teachers and do after school care, so that the children who are struggling and that are falling through the cracks in these deeply impoverished areas, they'll be able to get the help they need. The teachers will have some classroom help, and lives will be saved. And also I would like to recommend the colleges, the community colleges, those who are majoring in early childhood education or just majoring in the industry or field of teaching. You could earn classroom credits by volunteering in the high schools to help buddy up and support the high schoolers who need homework support. Now, these are just a few things that I thought of as a citizen. Another, I wanted to suggest that the universities get involved. You have so much to offer, and these deprived areas and communities should be allowed to come to the universities if necessary, use the facilities, and let the students work with some of these um, disadvantaged youth and kids right there on the college campus. It's a wonderful exposure for them because they are in an impoverished area and would not have an opportunity to see the inside of a college or even a community college. It will give them a vision and a hope to know that there is more outside of this broken down area where we live. And so that was another thing. And I want to also invite the sororities to get involved, the Kappa Betas and the like. You all have so much to offer. I remember my daughter was invited by one of the 5 Beta Kappa groups to spend a day. They came to the junior high school where she was, and they took up with the students that were getting the A's and the B's, and that was good. And I commended them for that. But I later took time to reach out to the leader, and I said, you know, that's wonderful for the students who are wired to get A's and B's. Why not focus on the student that's getting the F and the D and even the C? They just need a little more help. And so if the sororities would take a little time and reach out to the school and just come in and say, we want to help. We want to reach these students that are in these deprived areas. We want to give them that extra time, that homework support. And there's so many ways you could set that up. They could come to your frat houses, or you could come to the school. Either way, it would be exposure for them to see another lifestyle that they could benefit from. Another thing, ROTC. That was a wonderful thing. As a youth growing up, I had an opportunity to be a part of ROTC, and I absolutely loved it. And there were some schools in the Michigan area, up in the Lansing area, who had ROTC units, the real military, on the school grounds in the building. And that's a wonderful practice, and I'm putting this out there because I would like to see this idea spread across the United States throughout all of the schools, junior high and high schools, that ROTC would be a mandate, that it would be there, because so many of the homes that they said on the news are single parent households. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them were early pregnancies, early teenage pregnancies. And I'm telling you, having the ROTC's participation in the schools, that would help give those young men and the women a chance to see men in authority, and women also in authority, and that will give them a vision of what they could become. And it will also give them the discipline that they need, that they're not getting in the home, that mentorship that they need, that they're not getting in the home, in these impoverished communities. Another wonderful program that I got a chance to participate in as a 13-year-old was the police cadet. That was a wonderful program, and I was like, God, where did it all go? We have plenty of police stations and districts where law enforcement could set up a camp or an academy or a cadet program for the youth, ages, I'd say 12 through high school age, where they could be a cadet, where they could learn the law, where they could learn respect for authority, respect for themselves. I guarantee you it will help. And I'm putting this idea out on my Facebook Live because I want to see it spread. All copycats are welcome to pick up these tips and run with them, because we are united in this country and we help our own. Celebrities, you have a huge influence on our youth. And it would be ideal if the celebrities would use their influence to not just put out the good beat and the hip hop music, but put out some resources whereby these underprivileged, impoverished children that will be stricken by crime, that will revert to crime if someone doesn't come along and help. And so because you have such an influence as the hip hops and the rappers and all of the big names, I'm just not going to just start naming everyone. I missed some, but you know who you are. But you could help with this problem in our inner cities. And so you could even maybe open up a school or two in different sections of town, charter schools that will be designed specifically for the low income, really, really poor families where these, some of these kids, they have to have lunch programs through the summer because there's no food to keep them going over the summer. Well, a program like that could keep them eating and learning throughout the summer. So celebrities, you need to get involved because these young people, they buy your music and you live well off of them. And I wanted to say one more thing and then I'm going to close. Parents, please don't depend on the schools to do all of the teaching of your child, to do all the work. It's too much. Do your part. Reinforce what you want your child to know. Even if there are things that you know that you don't know, you can seek out community centers and seek out camps, summer camps, baseball camp, football camps where there are coaches where your child could be exposed to mentoring. And you yourself could get online and find programs that are free, that you as a parent can expose your child to. Yes, you may be poor, but if you write down a plan, I'm not saying it had to be elaborate, but just create a shopping list. Something like this. Just create a shopping list. 1, 2, 3, 4, and with bullet points. What you want for your child, your vision for your child, and line those bullet points up. And whatever area it is on that list that you don't have the skills to do, begin to seek out support in those areas. And so these were just 10 of the ideas and suggestions that I wanted to share to try to help with the problem, because Baltimore was just an example, but there are so many cities that are deeply stricken by poverty. And so, some of these families may need help for the whole family, but if these bigger institutions are willing to help a parent retool that needs to retool, they don't have the money and you're a university or a community college, work something out. If they are involved with the Department of Social Services, the welfare system, I don't have anything against immigration, but I have a problem with our own citizens falling by the wayside, not being assisted, while so much support is going to others. And to the idea of bringing more immigrants in to that already wounded Baltimore area, that's crime, setting up on crime. It's a setup for a failure. And so I wanted to get this Facebook going, this Facebook Live Online with Couture. I want to get this started so that these 10 points can get initiated. I'll run through the list again. I recommended, first of all, that the elementary schools collaborate with the high schools and get a buddy system going. Let the high schoolers come in and help with the elementary kids where they need it. And I recommended that the community colleges get involved with the elementary schools and with the high schools. If you in the community college and you are majoring in early childhood education, it would be an ideal opportunity for you to get internships, earn classroom credit by volunteering at the local high school. I even suggest to you principals to reach out to the community college and collaborate with them for this effort. And you will see some progress. I know what I'm talking about here. Universities, get involved. Open your doors. Don't be stingy with your resources. Let these underprivileged children come in and have time with those students who are majoring in being teachers. This is going to help them learn to be better teachers because they'll be getting hands-on, not with the wealthy, but with the poor. The target here is the poor. The target is the student that's failing, the student that's falling through the cracks. Sorority groups, I recommended that you all get involved and expose your skills and your know-how to these failing students. You always focus on the A and the B student. That's what your sorority is about. And I get that, but let's flip that script and let's focus on that one that has so much less. Then I recommended the ROTC. ROTC in every school, high school preferably, so that the students can learn discipline and respect for authority. I also recommended, number 7, for the police departments to be involved. Set up academies, police cadet programs. Those really do work and is very impressionable on a young mind, and you will help to save a life from being a life of crime just by having a police cadet. And this should be a center for that in every city and in every state. Everywhere there's a police station. And celebrities, you are welcome to get involved. Use your influence to influence young people to make wise choices, to be positive, and to experience life in a way that they wouldn't ordinarily be able to experience, because you have the ability to maybe open up a charter school or do a summer camp program. Name it after yourself, or something that where they can have fun, but they're still learning and provision is being made. These are just some of the things that we can do as citizens to help combat that type of failure that we see in Baltimore that's really all over the United States. And then parents, as I said to you, please get involved. You know, itemize a shopping list, what it is that you want for your child. And teachers, don't depend solely on the teachers to do everything. And I wanted to say in closing, teachers, love your students. And I know that sometimes it's difficult. Kids can and they will be disobedient, you know, and they can be kind of hard to work with. But if all possible, try to avoid the negative speech, the put downs and like that. I've seen that happen, and I know that that's not good. If the kid knew the things that they needed to know, there would not be a need for a school. So keep that in mind. And I just wanted to put these 10 thoughts out there in your mind again, so that we can try to help where we can help in our communities, because our leaders are really distracted more than I would like for them to be distracted on these things that I'm seeing in the news. And so this is just something we can do as people, as citizens. We can be proactive and we can take charge of our own communities and exercise personal leadership in our communities, in our homes, and abroad. And so when you see a young single parent situation, you know, see what you all can do in your block, in your area, to get something going, whereby you can help one another. And if at all possible, universities, if you can help some of these single parents to retool, that do that, if it'll help strengthen and save a life from crime. Well, God bless you. Thank you for being a part of Live Online with Couture, with my Facebook Live Leadership Talk here today. Have a great rest of your day.